Welcome back. Today we are going to learn the concept of optionals in Swift. I assume you already know what constants and variables are. There is another way of declaring. Let's dive into it. In this video, we are going to recap how we declare constants and variables. After that, we are going to work on optionals and we are going to finish this video by looking into unwrapping the values of optionals. This is how the constant and variable values are declared in Swift. Constant with the keyword let and variables with the keyword var. Plain and simple. If you try to assign any value to the constant, we are going to get an error. Since by definition it is constant, whereas assignment works in case of variables. Let's get into optionals. Optional value is declared with the question mark, which says value can be there or it can be nil. Let's declare another var, which is required value. Notice we have not mentioned the question mark in this case. Let's see how accessing the value in both the cases are different from each other. Go ahead and print the optional value. Notice in the right pane you see value as optional nil. On printing required value, since it is not an optional value, we are going to get an error. Scroll down and see error says the value is used before initialization, whereas in case of optional it was assigned as nil. Go ahead and make required value as optional and notice the error just got disappeared. In both cases we have nil. Declare an optional int and I'm going to explain you what is unwrapping means. It is a way of extracting value from the optional variable. Let's assign optional int value to a variable called result. Since we have not explicitly mentioned the type of variable and Swift uses type inference, result var would become an optional value. We could see nil when we print result. If we explicitly mention the result type to int, not optional, we are going to get an error. Look into the error and it says the value of optional int is not unwrapped. Did you mean to use sign of exclamation or the question mark? Let's assign optional int a value 2 and notice the error is still there. There are different recommended way to unwrap an optional value. In this case we are going to use the sign of exclamation. This concept is called forced unwrapping. Add sign of exclamation to the result and we should see the error going away. Okay, so we get a new error now which says the optional value should be unwrapped while assigning. My bad. Exclamation sign should be next to optional int while assigning, not to the result. And this time we should see the error going away and you could see result is equal to 2 in the console. Let's see what happens when I assign int optional is equal to nil. You could see this will fail. That is why we should be very cautious while using forced unwrapping. If it is not used properly in your app, it would cause a crash, which won't be a very good experience. So we avoid using forced unwrapping if it is not 100% sure the value would be present. Let's see the other ways to unwrap values safely from optionals. We can use if-let to be sure about the value. If-let would assure us the value is there in the result before we execute the print statement or do any operations on the result var. Let's see the behavior now changing the optional int value to nil. In this case it would not crash because if-let won't let the operation happen if the value is not there. This is it for today. I would be covering the unwrapping concept in detail in my next video, where we would be learning the best practices on unwrapping the optionals. So make sure to hit the subscribe button, give thumbs up by hitting like if this video is useful to you in any way, and that's it. Bye bye. See you in my next video.